Did you know Greek grandmothers have grown vegetables that big agriculture just can't kill off, no matter how bad the weather gets? Farmers ignored global trends and kept these seeds alive for generations, while food companies tried to replace them with imports. So, what makes these 14 Greek garden vegetables so unstoppable? Stick around. This list might change how you see food forever. Quick pause before we go on. Everything you're about to see survived because someone refused to let it disappear. Seeds passed hand to hand. Knowledge protected when it wasn't profitable. If you believe food history matters and these traditions deserve another generation, hit subscribe. Number 14, Purslane. Imagine a plant so tough it grows between rocks in the hottest Greek summers. That's Purslane. For decades, gardeners yanked it out, calling it a weed, but old Greek grandmothers just smiled and tossed it in salads. Researchers at the University of Crete discovered it packs more omega-3s than some fish, yet supermarkets ignore it for leafy imports. The main issue? Big agriculture has no interest in a vegetable that thrives without irrigation or fertilizer. Purslane survives heat, drought, and neglect, making it a legend in backyard gardens. Greek kids nibble its tart stems during long walks, while city chefs rediscover it as superfood. It even starred in ancient Greek texts, praised by Hippocrates for stomach issues. What else did the ancients hide in plain sight? Well, the next vegetable used to feed entire villages through war and famine by growing right under everyone's feet. Number 13, black-eyed pea. Every Greek farmer knows black-eyed peas by the name Phaseolia mavromatica. During the food shortages of the 1940s, these beans kept people alive, growing strong when wheat fields failed. Farmers sow them with little water, knowing they'll always get a harvest. Nutritionists point out that black-eyed peas hit nearly 24% protein, plus fiber and folate, ideal survival food. But here's the twist. Industrial soybean and imported lentils replaced them in many markets, pushing black-eyed peas off the main shelves. Still, on Crete, you'll spot old men shelling piles of them in July heat. Taverna owners keep the recipe alive, serving stews with a squeeze of lemon. It's a humble ingredient that Big Ag can't profit from, since it grows too well on its own. If you think that's under the radar, wait until you see what Greeks pulled out of dry riverbeds for generations, without planting a single seed. Number 12, wild asparagus. Picture villagers wandering hillsides at dawn, hunting for wild asparagus, sometimes called avra, before the sun bakes the fields. Unlike the fat, bland asparagus found in big box stores, these wild spears taste like pure springtime, with a bitter snap that wakes you up. They grow wherever the last rain fell, so Big Ag can't farm them at scale. Food historians say ancient Greeks believed wild asparagus could detoxify the body after winter. Cooks add it to omelets or pasta, and families guard their secret foraging spots tighter than gold mines. Meanwhile, agricultural corporations push hybrid varieties that need chemicals and irrigation. You can see why wild asparagus rarely shows up in the produce aisle. It refuses to play by the rules. Next up, a vegetable that played both villain and hero in Greece's hardest times and survives in nearly every garden today. Number 11, Swiss chard. Swiss chard never makes magazine covers, but it's a Greek garden MVP. Villagers call it seskula and plant it everywhere, from island terraces to city flower beds. Chard shrugs off heat and grows new leaves even after being hacked down by goats or children. When German forces occupied Greece during World War II, chard was the go-to green for desperate families. Scientists love it too, rich in vitamins A, K, and magnesium. It also absorbs salt from brackish water, a rare talent. Chard is the reset button for tired soil, growing where lettuce dies. Chefs stuff it with rice, herbs, and olive oil, creating dolmens that last days in the fridge. So why do industrial growers skip it? It won't travel or sit pretty for weeks in a box. The next Greek vegetable proves you don't even need soil at all, just a stubborn seed and a crack in a wall. Number 10, amaranth greens. Kids in Athens roll their eyes at Vita, but archaeologists say amaranth saved whole cities during drought. This leafy green was found at the site of the 4th century BC famine in Attica, and the record says None starved where Vita grew. The best part? You barely have to try. Amaranth greens sprout in bad soil, handle floods or heat, and resist bugs naturally. Nutrition scientists in Thessaloniki say it's a vitamin C powerhouse. 1 cup offers over half your daily value. But supermarkets ignore Vita, calling it weedy and too fast growing. Still, you'll find grandmothers grabbing armfuls at open markets, boiling it down with olive oil and lemon. Amaranth's stubbornness keeps it alive through neglect. What other food was once considered wild animal feed, then turned into a national comfort food? The answer is growing on trellises everywhere, if you know where to look. Number 9, zucchini. Ever seen a vegetable explode in your backyard? That's zucchini in a Greek summer. Villagers joke that a single plant can feed an army. One year, a farmer in Arcadia harvested over 300 zucchinis from 3 plants. The problem? Industrial growers want perfect shapes. So misshapen, real zucchini get left behind. Greeks never cared. Kolokythia is fried, stewed, stuffed, and even used in cakes. Zucchini grows through drought, keeps producing when other crops fail, and needs almost zero attention. The skin holds the most nutrients, vitamin A, potassium, fiber, so locals eat it whole, not peeled. But ag companies focus on shipping, shelf life, and looks. Ever wonder why store zucchinis taste watery? That's the cost of perfect produce. Meanwhile, grandmothers still use the big leaves to wrap cheese or roast on coals. Speaking of coals, the next vegetable thrives when the heat rises, almost like it's built for fire. Number 8, eggplant. Eggplant, melitsana, has a reputation for drama. Turkish invaders brought it in the 15th century, but Greek cooks turned it into royalty. Eggplant absorbs the flavors of garlic, tomato, and olive oil like a sponge. Farmers love it because, once planted, it resists pests and laughs at the August heat. The purple skin holds nasunin, a compound linked to brain health, tested by researchers at the University of Patras in 2017. Big Ag prefers faster, bland varieties, but Greeks swear by the small, almost black type grown from family seeds. In 1978, during a record drought, rural villages survived with eggplant casseroles and little else. Meanwhile, city supermarkets sell generic, oversized versions grown for profit. The best ones, though, come from backyard patches. And if you've ever tasted real Greek moussaka, you know the difference. Next, a climbing plant takes center stage, a vine that defies gravity and delivers flavor all summer long. Number 7, pole beans. Nothing beats the sight of beans climbing up a fence in July. Greeks call them fasolakia, and you'll find them in every kitchen from Thessaloniki to Crete. Pole beans thrive in poor soil, bouncing back after storms or heat waves. In the 1960s, Greek researchers showed these beans actually fix more nitrogen than some commercial fertilizer mixes. That's free soil health, straight from the vine. Families harvest daily, snapping fresh beans into stews or salads. Big agriculture avoids them, since beans that grow this fast and wild can't be boxed up for a month. Old varieties with deep green pods beat supermarket beans on taste and texture every time. Pole beans never fail to deliver a meal, even after a season of bad luck. And if you think beans are old news, just wait for a vegetable that pops up in volcanic soil and saves Santorini after a disaster. Number 6, cherry tomatoes. Forget the tasteless supermarket tomato. Real Greek cherry tomatoes, especially those from Santorini, burst with flavor. The secret? Volcanic soil and ruthless sun. After the 1956 earthquake destroyed most farms, locals replanted cherry tomatoes because they barely need water and still thrive. A 2014 study at the University of Athens found Santorini cherry tomatoes have triple the antioxidant levels of commercial types. Big Ag skips these tiny tomatoes for uniform hybrids, missing out on the wow factor of real flavor. Greek kids eat them straight off the vine, still warm from the sun. Chefs in Athens pay top euro for a single crate during peak season. Once, these tomatoes traveled all over Europe, until cheaper, bland tomatoes took over. Want to know which vegetable Greeks treat like a magic health tonic? You'll find it next to every front door, soaking up sun and legend. Number 5, dandelion greens. Dandelions aren't just weeds in Greece. Horta means wild greens, and dandelion is the MVP. Every family has a favorite patch by the roadside or near the old village church. You'll see old women bent over, filling bags with dandelion leaves for dinner. Medical studies confirm dandelion greens deliver vitamin K, calcium, and even act as a mild diuretic. In rural Crete, these greens helped families survive famines, and in some years, demand outpaced potatoes. You won't find these wild greens in major supermarkets because they can't be grown at scale. Urban gardeners still eat them for the cleansing, slightly bitter taste, paired with olive oil and lemon. Greeks laugh when tourists call them weeds, but anyone who eats horta feels better. Up next, a vegetable that actually grows through stone walls, feeding whole islands with zero effort or money. Number 4, capers. Capers may be small, but they pack a punch, flavor, history, and attitude. In Santorini and the Cyclades, caper bushes sprout straight out of cliffs, cracks, and walls. No soil, no problem. Greek sailors once carried capers as anti-scurvy medicine. Studies out of Thessaloniki University confirm capers contain quercetin, a strong antioxidant. Locals pick the flower buds and pickle them, sometimes selling a jar for more than a bottle of wine. Industrial farming ignores capers. They're impossible to standardize, harvest, or ship in bulk. Greek salads pop with their salty bite, and food historians trace them back to Homer's time. The real trick? Once a bush takes root, it'll outlive everyone on the block. If you think capers are tough, the next Greek classic grows all year, tastes like sweet licorice, and shrugs off frost and drought. Number 3, fennel. Fennel smells like licorice, but in Greek kitchens, it's a secret weapon. Islanders call it marathos, and it appears in pies, salads, and even on grilled fish. The plant survives heat, cold, and even salty sea spray. Just ask the old farmers of Naxos, who've grown fennel for 800 years. Botanists at Athens University found wild fennel growing in 15 out of 17 major Greek islands. Fennel bulbs give vitamin C, potassium, and anethol, a compound with anti-inflammatory effects. Supermarkets rarely stock the wild stuff, going for big, bland bulbs from controlled greenhouses. Greek cooks keep seeds for decades, using the feathery greens to flavor bread or ouzo. The plant's deep taproot makes it nearly impossible to kill, even in drought. It's a classic underdog that never lets up. Ready for the most controversial vegetable on the list? It grows on the world's windiest island and was once banned from royal tables. Number 2, Scordalia potatoes. Picture this: Greeks in Naxos battling salty winds, short summers, and rocky fields. Instead of quitting, they grow legendary potatoes, small, firm, full of flavor. The most famous end up in scordalia, a garlicky mash that's half medicine, half comfort food. Potatoes first arrived here from South America in the 1800s, quickly becoming the island's lifeline. Modern Naxos potatoes win international taste tests for their flavor and texture. Industrial growers focus on big, watery varieties bred for shipping. Meanwhile, Naxos keeps its heritage alive, refusing to change what works. Locals say a plate of scordalia can fix a cold, mend a friendship, and even break a curse. University taste panels agree. Naxos potatoes score highest in blind tests for flavor, especially when mixed with garlic and olive oil. Now, the countdown closes with a vegetable banned by kings and worshipped by cooks. A green that changes everything you think about Greek food. Number 1, Vita, Greek amaranth. Top of the list, and for good reason. Vita takes the title of most stubborn, most loved, and most controversial Greek garden vegetable. In the 1700s, royal edicts tried to ban wild amaranth as peasant food, but villagers kept growing it. Fast forward to today, and you'll find Vita on every summer table, boiled with lemon and olive oil. In lab tests, it beats out kale and spinach for iron, vitamin C, and magnesium. The plant survives wildfires, drought, and even the goat that tries to eat it from the root. Modern Greek chefs finally put it back on trendy menus, sparking a mini food revolution. Some call it the weed that feeds the world. Data shows Vita grows from seed to harvest in just 28 days, faster than most salads on the market. As big agriculture doubles down on processed foods, Greeks quietly keep Vita alive, proving that sometimes the old ways really do win. And that wraps the wild story of 14 Greek vegetables big agriculture loves to forget. Each one hides a secret power, sometimes right under your feet. These Greek garden legends are just the start. There's a whole world of foods with stories you've never heard. Tap the next video, because what's waiting there might change your kitchen for good.